All you had to do was ask Super Mario Bros. 3 from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power.
Hello, welcome to the Switch 2 podcast, a weekly show dedicated to all things Switch 2, Switch, and Nintendo related. How's it going, Brian?
Keith, what is up?
I've been trying to play more Switch 2. Surprisingly, I'm enjoying Street Fighter the most, I think.
I am really liking Street Fighter. I know it's an older game, but I'm having a lot of fun playing it.
Playing the single mode, but even playing online with you and other people, it's just fun.
We played with 4 people. You and I were on the Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
G was on the PS5, and our buddy Henry was on Xbox. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, this is going to be the Street Fighter podcast.
Yeah, we should have an open challenge to anyone out there that wants to play Street Fighter with us.
Let's go.
Or Mario Kart, whatever.
I might get my butt kicked in Mario Kart.
Or even, we should get Soul Calibur going. We haven't tried that yet online.
Every week, I'm like, oh my goodness, the GameCube. So many games, such a little time.
There was a Donkey Kong Direct, but we'll get into the news first before we talk about that. After just 12 days, Nintendo is already nuking Switch 2 console accounts for players caught using MIG Flash. Oh, no! It's a cartridge allowing Switch 1 games on the new console.
What are you thinking? Why would you do that?
I looked into what this MIG switch is. You take data of a Switch 1 game and you download it onto this cartridge.
Yep.
So you could buy like a used Switch game, get the data, put it on this cartridge, and sell that used Switch game, and then just have it on this one little cartridge.
I think they sell the cartridge with games already preloaded on it.
I've never used one of those.
I was close to buying one last year.
Really?
I was really close.
You don't have to have a hacked Switch. You can just put it right into console and it plays?
I think that's what it was. It's been a couple months since I've dove deep into it, but I was going to use it strictly on my Switch Lite because that's the one that I bring with me when I go away and stuff.
You could put multiple games on the one cartridge?
I think so.
Okay. But yeah, there's been reports of people saying their consoles are bricked from using it online.
Of course it is. I would never, with the Switch 2 especially, I would not.
No, I wouldn't.
Anything like that.
I don't think the Switch 2 is ready for any of these hacking situations. So if you're going to use that, stick to your first Switch. I mean, you can't even use Switch 2 games on this MIG Switch thing anyway, so what's the point?
People might have traded in their Switch 1 to get a Switch 2.
That's true.
You know, you just never know. But Nintendo's not messing around. This go around with the Switch 2. They go after hackers more than any other gaming console.
With these consoles, since they're getting banned online, people are selling them. And I've seen online people talking about how they buy a Switch 2 used, but it's a banned console, and now they can't go online with it.
That should be a crime.
Yeah, that's going to be an issue. Nintendo Switch 2 consoles worth $1.4 million were stolen in a GameStop truck heist.
Oh, what? Is this an Ocean's 13 movie?
I guess.
Oh, Fast and Furious.
What are they going to do with these? Can Nintendo trace these stolen consoles?
That is such a good question. What do you someone in the garage has pallets and pallets full of Switch 2s, hoping to sell them on the black market?
1.4 million. Yeah, you do the math. They have a bunch of these sitting around.
Almost 3,000 Switch 2s.
Just wondering where they're selling them.
Facebook Marketplace. Hey, why does Tommy keep on selling a Switch every week? They're going to get caught.
Yeah, I mean...
Unless it was an inside job. Do you think it was an inside job?
Some speculation about that. Makes sense.
See that. They said if they get caught, they're going to face multiple felony charges. That is no joke.
Pretty bad.
Wasn't worth it. It's not worth it.
No, it's not worth it.
Just wait in line in the GameStop for 5 hours.
Switch 2's non-Nintendo games are flopping, apparently. So the third-party games on Switch 2 are not selling as much as these publishers thought they would be selling, except for Cyberpunk. Apparently that's a high seller.
I think it's because people already own the games and they don't want to double dip, so to speak, where Cyberpunk, I don't think was a great seller when it first came out, right? So not a lot of people bought it.
No, especially Nintendo players.
Right.
But
a lot of these games are old.
now, Cyberpunk was a physical cartridge game, and these other third-party games were either digital or keycard. You think that has anything to do with it?
I'm sure people out there are going to say it does. And maybe like a percentage. I don't think it's like the sole reason.
No, I think because what a lot of Sega games were released, Sonic and Puyo Puyo Tetris, but those were already on the Switch to begin with. So, but a game like Rune Factory, I'm kind of disappointed because that was a physical cartridge game. So to hear that didn't sell too well is kind of disappointing. But
these games are expensive. They don't want to double dip.
If you're buying the Switch 2 at launch, you're going to get it for what, Mario Kart or Cyberpunk anyway. So
yeah, I mean Street Fighter. Of course, I was going to buy it, but Cyberpunk. I mean, waiting at launch for Switch 2, Cyberpunk was the popular game.
It's a major third-party release, so it makes sense. I think that, like, in the future, Elden Ring, that's going to be a big third-party seller.
Maybe.
It really depends on the game.
I wonder how Final Fantasy is going to do. They'll have one purchase from me, that's for sure.
No, I think Final Fantasy VII is going to sell just fine. But speaking of Final Fantasy XVI, the newest game, a Switch 2 port possibly happening.
What? This is interesting. They hinted at it.
Yeah, it's the new... I'm surprised Final Fantasy XIV hasn't been talked about coming to Switch 2, the online game. But 16, apparently, it just came out on Xbox. I think it's on Game... I don't know if it's on Game Pass, but I know it just came out on Xbox. And the director was saying, well, they might bring it to the Switch 2 now.
Is it bad that I know nothing about this Final Fantasy XVI game?
I don't think it's that popular, really. It was kind of like their version of Game of Thrones. It's like a dark, mature version of Final Fantasy. The story and the characters, I don't know, they didn't really interest me, so I never played it. Apparently, it has like huge boss battles. That's what it's known for. Kind of a generic cast.
Ugh, what is this? They all look the same. If you would have showed me that image of all the characters, I would have said that's like Fire Emblem or something. Like that does not scream Final Fantasy. But
we'll see how it runs. I mean, it doesn't run the best on the other consoles apparently, so I wonder how Switch 2 can handle it. Might be a bit of a downgrade, but... Alright, so this I mentioned when I had a stream going the other night. Raito Remastered came out. I was curious to see if the original price, because it was originally a PlayStation 2 game, so I was curious to see if the price went down on those, because the game shot up around 2020 like most games for some reason. They all shot up in price.
I think I know the reason.
Yeah. So before 2020, this game was selling for like $40 on eBay. Raito versus Solus Armory and PS2. And then once 2020 rolled around, let's see. Here's price charting. Yeah, it was selling for $50. Then in 2020, it shoots up to $150.
Holy mackerel.
2022, the highest, it was $199.
What?
So earlier this year, the remastered was announced. Started dropping to like $116. And ever since the game came out yesterday, I went to eBay. People are selling it for under $100 now. So
I love remasters. Bring them. Keep them coming.
I mean, that's what happened with Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, the remastered version. Now the GameCube version of that game is under $100. It's like $60 now. I
think I went on a tangent in a previous episode where resellers, man, they're the worst.
Yeah, that was the newest game on Switch 2.
How do you like it?
I mean, I
saw a little bit of your stream the other night.
I grew up playing these older games, so I don't think it's a remaster, but it still feels like you're playing a PlayStation 2 game. It's very slow and not much is going on, but I mean, I like that type of style. But I can see people who play like Persona 5 and want to check out these other Atlas games. I don't think they're going to enjoy it. The action isn't as crazy as in Persona, so yeah, I like it though. So
let's move on to the big announcement of the week.
The Donkey Kong Bananza Direct.
Man, that was Bonanza.
So before this Direct, on a scale of 1 to 10, what were your thoughts on this game?
So, just from like the little tidbits that we saw leading up to the direct, I think
Mhm.
I was at like an 8. Like
Right.
I already paid the game off,
You're
but
right.
and then I think after direct it went to a 10.
Yeah.
It blew up. It exceeded my expectations.
So I have to admit, when I first saw the game, I thought maybe, okay, I'll play it if I get it as a gift or something. But after this direct, I'm up to like an instant buy.
Major wow factor.
Instant.
That's how you do a direct. So they really sold a lot of people on this game.
This is the game that is going to sell more consoles if possible.
Yeah, the direct has over 3 million views, which is pretty odd just for a game direct.
Yeah.
And it's Donkey Kong. It's not Mario. It's not Zelda.
Donkey Kong's been around. He is an OG
Okay.
in the
And
video game world.
it's the same team that made Mario Odyssey, so you know it's going to be very polished.
It's so cool looking.
It looks. People think maybe, oh, this is a prequel to Mario Odyssey since Pauline's in it, and she's a kid.
Yeah,
And they
so
show
there
like,
you go.
and they show New Donk City, but it's like incomplete.
So this is the beginning of the Nintendo universe.
I get not that it really matters, these Nintendo games or these Mario games stories. I don't think they really matter. Yeah, like at first when they first revealed this game, it looked like you just play as Donkey Kong and you go around smashing stuff.
Which
Right.
I was cool with.
But the more they showed it, it looks like a Banjo-Kazooie type game where you could go into these different worlds and just
Like he looks like he has a soul, Donkey Kong. You know what I mean? There's a lot of expressions. It's
right. Pauline has English voice acting, which is interesting. Usually,
they
there's
do.
no voice acting in these
I
games.
wonder if they'll do that with like the next Zelda. Like give Link an actual voice, you know.
Right. Or
They gave
Pokemon.
Zelda, yeah, or Pokemon.
Pokemon still has no voice acting. They say you're underground, but everything looks like you're just above ground.
No.
But it looks awesome. It really does. I like the not open world, but it's like kind of like an open area.
Yeah, so this is like Xenoblade.
Right. Yeah, it's like big areas to explore and different missions to do in that one area.
Yeah.
But it's not open world where you can go anywhere. It looks like it has sort of a path to follow.
Yeah, but those areas look massive.
Yeah.
And
I like how they're all different.
Yeah, all different, and like you could destroy practically anything.
They said that you can pretty much destroy anything. So I wonder how much of a map you can destroy.
You think someone is going to spend the time and flatten an entire area
Yeah, definitely.
and get like millions of views on YouTube?
Probably.
Should I do that?
So you think in the next Smash Brothers, Donkey Kong is going to be based on this
Of course.
design? Yeah.
They did it with Link with the Breath of the Wild costume when they
Right.
announced the Smash Brothers Ultimate. It was the updated Link. So this is your Donkey Kong. A little surprises in this little trailer. They showed some returning characters.
Oh, yeah. Diddy and Dixie
Yeah, I'm very happy about that.
for a split second. So do you think they're just in the random side quest? Or are they going to play a major part?
I think that's going to be like side quests, you know?
Yeah.
You find them and like, oh, find all the bananas in this section.
Right.
I could see them doing their own game in the future. Like if they're going to continue the Donkey verse.
Yeah. I mean, or they could, who knows, even do DLC, I'm sure.
Or
Side
DLC.
story. Look at that. Throw a bunch of sand to create a new path. You could ride on rocks. So it's kind of like Breath of the Wild where you could ride on your shield.
Yeah, exactly. That's fun.
Oh, you could sing with Pauline.
Do do do. Do do.
There's a bunch of other stuff too in the game. Like they have that clay mode where you can make stuff, which just has nothing to do with the game at all. It's just some bonus feature. So I'm sure people are going to make some pretty crazy stuff on that mode. And the music, it's kind of like Mario Kart World, where it's a bunch of old songs remixed. So I'm sure this game is going to have a bunch of classic songs that they remix just for this game.
You think they're going to have aquatic ambiance?
They have to. They have the DK rap in this.
I blame the movie on that one.
That's true, yeah. Oh, and he has transformations now. There's going to be a lot to this game. It's not... It definitely looks like a very well done game, which I was hesitant at first, but now I'm definitely going to get this game at launch. What do you think of the new enemies?
Because they remind me of like Tropic Freeze a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they're not K-Rool.
No, but...
You think he'll be in it?
Maybe an appearance. That would be fun.
Maybe he's the real, true villain. They have to know that he's the fan favorite.
He's in Smash Brothers, for goodness sake.
We still have like another month before this game comes out.
That's wild. It's going to go quick.
So they showed this Direct, but I'm sure there's more stuff they're going to reveal.
I was going to say, we've talked about a Nintendo releasing a Direct this summer, but we got this. Mm-hmm. You think that's it for the summer?
There is a rumor that a Direct might be coming, but I hear that every week.
We heard that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know. So I think they're going to wait until this game comes out. Then they'll do a Direct, because after this game comes out, we don't really know any other info or release dates. So,
like you said, this video has over 3 million views. It's going to sell.
Yeah.
Everyone that owns a Switch, not everyone, but I'm going to say maybe 85% of the people that bought a Switch will be buying this game.
Yeah, I think this is going to be like Mario Odyssey. That was a big seller, so this is going to be not going to be quite Breath of the Wild numbers. They have Mario Kart. That's going to do them just fine until this game comes out. But it does remind me of Banjo-Kazooie a lot.
You know, I didn't think about that when I watched the Directs. I didn't think about that at all until you just said it now.
Yeah.
That's all I could see.
It's that old school 3D platformer, which you don't really see a lot of nowadays. And apparently it's going to have co-op where you can play as Pauline. And you could use your first Switch as like a streaming device for the second player, which is interesting. So kind of like the Wii U gamepad.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm excited about the amiibo that was announced.
So after the Direct, I went to my local GameStop and wanted to pre-order this.
Yeah.
And they said they are not taking pre-orders at the moment.
So it's going to be a first come, first serve?
Pretty much.
I think since amiibos are more expensive now, I don't think it's going to be sold out. So I'm not too worried.
Well, and also the GameStop had the Street Fighter amiibos, and it had the Legend of Zelda amiibos for the Switch 2. All in stock.
Wow. Yeah, I think ever since they jacked up the price, they're not selling as well.
Because they'd rather buy a video game than a $40 amiibo.
But I mean, I've been collecting amiibo since day one, but I'm kind of limited with which ones I get now. But I want to get this one. Where's the I wanted to see the little snippet of Diddy Kong. Look, literally for 1 second, which makes me think either it's going to just be a side mission with them, or they're going to have more videos in the future with more info.
Right, and any of the other characters, Cranky or
Funky Kong.
Yeah. I'm going on vacation. It comes out on a Thursday. I'll be home that Friday.
Right.
And I will be picking that up after I drop my kids off. Daddy has to go. See ya.
So yeah, we played more of Mario Kart World Online. Finally learned how to do the wall riding and all that.
Yeah, we messed around with free roam, for a good while.
Here we go.
That was fun. We're like, oh, let's go to that bridge over there in the distance.
Right.
Like,
there's a lot to uncover.
Yeah, all the different missions and all the just discovering different coins and stuff.
Yeah, the question marks.
We're trying to get like up to certain areas by wall riding.
Right. In order to, I think, collect everything, you have to learn how to wall ride, and it takes some time to getting used to, but it's getting there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like free roam is like this whole new mode. It's just a bonus little feature that they added to the game. If you're playing with someone, I think it's a lot of fun.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, like you said, it's just another feature.
Yeah,
that they added to Mario Kart, and the game is massive.
I think the tracks are some of the best tracks in Mario Kart.
Yahoo!
And I was reading different opinions online. People were saying the tracks were boring. How can you play these tracks and think it's boring?
I could kind of see to the point, like some of them are just like a long straightaway.
Right. But it's always different. It's not like you're looping around.
Right. I consider it kind of like Fury Road. You know,
Yeah.
that's how I view it.
Right.
It is chaos.
They had to do something different because they had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is pretty much the best Mario Kart you're going to get. You know, they tried something different with this one.
There's going to be DLC in the future.
Yeah.
I can't see them not doing it. And this week I will be completing it for sure.
Yeah. Oh, what? Grand Prix?
Grand Prix. I'm going to get all the character skins. And
Yeah, I still have to get some characters and carts. I don't know how many carts there are, but I just got a Rob the Robot bike.
whoa, I didn't get that yet.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, I got the Bullet Bill. Wasn't there a Cloud bike?
Yeah, I got a Cloud cart, and that's probably my favorite so far.
Flying Nimbus?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a different...
Yeah, I guess that rumor didn't pan out. People thought Dragon Ball Z was coming to Switch 2.
I forgot about that. I forgot all about that.
I think there's going to be a third-party direct in the future, so maybe they'll announce.
We're going to need some announcements here shortly. The Switch is going to hold me over until Donkey Kong. Once I get that game's probably going to hold me over for the rest of the summer.
Right.
But come fall time, we need some games.
All right. And with that, thank you for listening to the Switch 2 podcast. Stay tuned. We've got plenty more to talk about in the future. I'm Keith.
I'm Brian.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.